Gregory, I saw the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie on opening day at 11 a.m. and it was peak. I highly recommend you check it out, but do be careful, Gregory. I will be there to see it a second time, and I am not quite myself at the moment.
Hey guys, sorry, I don't know what came over me. So I saw the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie, and it was really, really good. They learned everything they possibly could have from the first movie, and they used it to evolve the formula for the second movie. And I'm thankfully going to be seeing it a second time because the first time just feels like a fever dream. Like it feels like all of that happened in a dream or something, and I need to see it again. So I plan on seeing it a second time. As someone who thoroughly enjoyed the first movie and thought it was amazing, this is better than the first movie. This second movie is better than the first one. Jackson, be normal. Be normal, dog.
Be normal. Gregory, why are you being strange? Gregory, what are you doing?
So I really enjoyed the way the movie adapts the story of how the puppet got possessed. Given that the puppet has a wireless connection to the toy animatronics in this movie, it gives a good visualization of why the toy animatronics hate parents and more specifically adults in the lore. Like we've known that since FNAF 2 is they behave normally with kids but not adults. And if the puppet hates parents and the puppet is what controls the toy animatronics, it makes perfect sense as to why they don't like parents. Also, it gave me chills. The way there was like an attempted child murdering from William, and then how Charlotte saves the kid but becomes the puppet. It was just such a cool thing to see. It wasn't cool, of course it was sad, but it gave me chills, it really did. And I loved the arcade game style intro, just like in the first movie. They brought that back just as good this time, if not better. They brought back that choir of kids for the theme song. Really, really good stuff. I think the story of this second movie is a big departure from anything I could have expected, but in the best way possible. I didn't think in a million years that we were gonna get Michael Afton in this movie, which, if you didn't assume this already, major spoiler warning on this. I assume you have already seen the movie or already know what happens in the movie. I did not think but Michael Afton is in this. I didn't think we were gonna get two Mikes in the franchise, let alone Michael Afton himself. But I'm so glad he's here in the series. Perfect casting for him as well, honestly. Really, really good stuff. I think that Michael Afton in the movie being explicitly like evil and or trying to like directly saying that he wants to carry on his father's legacy is an interesting difference from the games, because obviously the lore of the games and book universe. Jackson, will you stop making a nest out of those blankets, please? Thank you.
You're being strange. Stop it. Gregory, what are you doing?
Alright. But, I mean, Michael Afton in the origin story was always a bully, so maybe in the movie universe he just never changed, like he just continued being bad. Maybe that's just what they're going with. He wants to continue his father's legacy. That, of course, we know that it's a separate timeline, so maybe that's just what he's doing in this, for the movie series. Or maybe he's already taken over by Ennard, which we've seen by what the puppet does throughout the movie. Animatronics possessing people is a large possibility in this. In fact, the puppet possesses Abby towards the end of the movie, and Abby is perfectly alive afterwards. She's just a bit nauseous. So maybe Michael has Ennard in him, but I'll talk about that in another video. Let's just assume that he's just bad for the sake of that's how he is in the movie series. Speaking of the puppet being able to possess people, I think that's probably one of my favorite things about this movie is the puppet's newfound ability to possess other living beings. Possibly the same way that the puppet possesses the security breach Mega Pizzaplex in the lore of that stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna try not to connect the two entirely, but I am gonna do a separate video on how the FNAF 2 movie could maybe affect other parts of the franchise, just for fun. But the puppet can possess people now, and that was probably the main horror factor of this movie, because when any of the characters who got possessed by the puppet was like nightmare fuel in the movie. I remember even seeing the teaser for that before the movie came out. The human puppet, it's really scary, and I love what they did with that in this movie. I like that was a big plot point in it, that it was like it was bold, but it was perfect. It was a good choice because I don't think it would have been as scary otherwise. That being said, actually, I don't know, I guess maybe the puppet has a different role in the story entirely, because it doesn't explicitly say in this movie that the puppet gave life to the other souls of the kids inside of the animatronics. I think that might have just happened of its own accord. Whereas in the game storyline, the puppet woke up the children in their suits. Like, the puppet is the one that gave them life because the puppet was the first, which is a bit interesting. Also, I was surprised that the puppet was Charlie in this movie. I thought it was going to be Garrett, just from a film theory that I saw back when the first movie came out. I don't know if Mike and Charlie are working together in the storyline of this movie, because they both have explicit control over the toy animatronics. The puppet through a wireless connection, and Michael, seemingly through like a verbal, he literally can just tell them what to do, I guess, which is very interesting. I don't know why, or if they're working together, or if that's just coincidence. The characters are so well done in this movie. Mike, Michael, Vanessa, all the animatronics. I don't know how, what is it, Jim Henson's Creature Workshop, whatever, what that company is called. I don't know how they made so many animatronics for this movie. I really don't know how there's so many of them. Even the withered animatronics are done to a T, perfect. And not only are they done well, but they are done in honor of, they're loyal to the original designs from the games. They are like a 1-for-1, and it's very impressive. I wish Toy Bonnie sounded a little bit more like Matt Pat, but, you know, a little bit less auto-tune in there, but that's okay. I love Kellen Goff killed it as Toy Freddy, sounded just like Glam Rock Freddy. Gregory, just like Glam Rock Freddy. That was something special about it. I think the most perfect part about this movie was the ending. I loved, and it wasn't cheesy at all, I absolutely loved that the FNAF 1 animatronics showed up at the end, because they're Abby's friends. They showed up to save the day. They beat the fuck out of the toy animatronics, absolutely destroyed them, and that part gave me chills. That was like something out of a fan animation, but it wasn't cliche, it wasn't, oh come on, that's not real. It was so good, and it was a joy. It really was. That's my favorite. That's the part that I cannot wait to see for the second time the most out of the whole movie. And then Cassidy / Golden Freddy telling Abby that their souls are being released and that they're going to heaven now is just, I cried over that. That was so good. And then the icing on the cake was Cassidy telling Mike that they're not going to be able to contain William / Springtrap anymore, and that he's going to come back stronger than ever, teasing the third movie. And I'm sorry, I know this entire video sounds like me just glazing the movie, but it was so good. The post-credit scene was the perfect visualization of something that we've known that happened. We've known that this happened since FNAF 3 came out. We've known that, you know, the Fazbear Frights guys came in to find stuff, and they find the Springtrap in the back room, the secret back room of Freddy's. We've known that this is an event that occurs, but seeing the guys from Fazbear Frights come in just looking for stuff, and like, oh, it needs to be authentic, and then they find that, and we get that little glimpse of him for the post-credits. After we get to hear the Living Tombstone, by the way, which, legendary. Getting It's Been So Long as the credit song, of course, amazing stuff, followed by that awesome post-credit scene. So exciting. The little glimpse that we got of Springtrap looks great. I have complete faith that they're going to nail it for the third movie as well, just because of that. Much like the first movie, there is a bunch of Easter eggs sprinkled in there for the hardcore fans like me that understand them. So, number one is the camera crew that gets murdered at the FNAF 2 location, the ghost hunters, whatever. The name on their van is called Spectral Scoopers, which Scoopers, everyone who's a FNAF fan knows. Everyone that's a FNAF fan knows. The scooper, anything that scoops. You guys got the scoops. You understand. You know the importance of the scoop. Okay, so we've got the Spectral Scoopers, which I was so happy when I saw that. Then you've got a Freddy plushie that does the horror meme, which legendary. I'll include a clip of that meme just for the sake of it. That's in there. Baby makes an appearance, which is honestly probably more out of left field than seeing Michael Afton. In Vanessa's dream sequence, child Vanessa catches a glimpse of the baby animatronic, which I'm sure was most likely CGI, like computer graphics. I don't think they actually made that as an animatronic for this movie, but that has some very interesting implications for the future of the movie series. I don't know if... Oh, my light went out. That sucks. Okay. I don't know if there's gonna be, a secret fourth movie, like a sister location movie, because otherwise I don't know why they would have gone out of their way to do that, but that really excited me. Probably my favorite Easter egg was Shadow Bonnie appears for like a millisecond while Mike is in the office trying to survive the withered animatronics and sever the connection between the puppet and the toy animatronics. For a millisecond, he shines his flashlight and Shadow Bonnie is there, which I was so hyped that I actually saw that because it's really easy to miss, just like in the games. And honestly, Shadow Bonnie is such a cool character, probably one of my favorite characters. Also, probably tied for favorite Easter egg, when just before the withered animatronics wake up, in Toy Chica's line of sight, just flashing in her face is, like in her eyes, because she's a robot obviously, an overlay message in her eyes just says security breach, which is obviously a reference to Security Breach, which is an interesting connection because a big working theory that originally came from FNAF, the YouTube channel, John FNAF, of course. You guys probably know who I'm talking about if you're watching this video, or maybe you don't. The theory is that the puppet is possessing the Mega Pizzaplex in the Security Breach storyline. So having, in this movie that so heavily emphasizes the puppet who can now possess people and or things, having that reference to Security Breach is, it's obviously just a nod to Security Breach, but that connection there, that metaphorical, that symbolism is very interesting. And the action in the movie was done so well. Also, just Mike having to survive in the FNAF 2 office. Mike ripping the head off of Balloon Boy and throwing it down the hallway has to be a nod to how much the fans hate Balloon Boy, or love hate Balloon Boy, who knows. But that was, I wish we got a little bit more Balloon Boy before that happened, but just twisted, throwing it down the hallway was awesome. And honestly, that's about it. I don't really have any more thoughts. I do have thoughts, but it's more like theories on how this movie is going to affect the rest of the franchise and or theories on what the third movie is going to be like. I'm going to have 2 separate videos on this movie, but that's really all the thoughts I had for the review of this movie. I know maybe I'm biased because I'm a FNAF fan, but I really do think it was an amazing movie. I would highly recommend that anyone who sees this checks it out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more stuff like this, go ahead and show me some support if you wouldn't mind. And I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you enjoy the next one even more. Have an amazing night.